Valley winner beat Rajar Lane home on that occasion. So the form around Rajar Lane's interesting. And Noel Callow has the sit. It's the total elect, but Flourish Gem continues to firm. Villiers ran second behind Runs on Ego at Sandown 2 weeks ago today, and is coming to the Valley for her first attempt, this brief truce mare from the Alan Bailey yard. Canchita eases out in betting. The 5, Jajastio, into $7.70. Deniliquin prepared, and a Swan Hill winner 2 runs back. Disappointed for a run behind Grenaya at this circuit 9 days back. We go down to Marouche, which is enjoying support. John Simon's the trainer. And Ruby Core, the Rubiton mare. Remember Rubiton? He won a Cox Plate at this track, one of his greatest race victories. About to be called forward, so that shouldn't be too far away from action. Race is due to jump in 2.5 minutes from now as we approach the 27.5 past the hour. Short break, back with Greg Miles in just a moment. Christmas flying, here's Greg.
And the first to go in on the inside was Ruby Core, a mare who didn't have a lot of luck last time out when 6th at Geelong. Got pushed back towards the turn and made some ground, but this is a bit harder this afternoon. Marouche goes in, ran very well 2 starts ago without any luck, but disappointing last time out in the race Grenaya won, one of her rivals here again today. Best support has continued to come for Flurry's Gem. Grenaya's eased out and they're now equal favourites on course, with Flurry's Gem the best tried. Larrieur's easing to 3rd elect, and some money too for Jajastio, who's come in for some late support and will be 4th favourite. Ruby Core an easing commodity. There's been no money Marouche and no money Canchita either. Just about right now, Jajastio, Flurry's Gem, the last 2 to move into the stalls. Track is rated as good, 4.33 the penetrometer. Rail is in the true position today after being out 4 metres. Here's Jajastio going into the line, has the pace to lead them if Reese Wheeler so desires. Flurry's Gem is going to be the last to move in, has the outside of the 7. So they're all in now, set to run. First on the program, it's the Merry Christmas Handicap. Racing in the first on the card, Flurry's Gem winning the jump on the outside, and Jajastio got away quickly. Marouche settling down a length and a half away 3rd, and they're followed by Canchita, Grenaya, Larrieur's out wider, and Ruby Core's a length and a half away. Jajastio drove through, led Flurry's Gem in the run to the turn at the 800. They're out by 2 lengths to Grenaya, Marouche the inside, and Canchita in that bunch of mares. 2 lengths Larrieur's, who's got back to second last now, and Ruby Core on the rail. Coming up the side, Jajastio led Flurry's Gem, a length to Grenaya, who's trapped out 3 wide. Canchita the centre, Marouche the rail. Then Larrieur's and Ruby Core last at the 600. Flurry's Gem strides about a half length clear now to Jajastio. On the outside then is Canchita, and Grenaya is wider out. It's been wide all of the way. Marouche sneaks through on the inside, and then Larrieur's and Ruby Core, who's held up. Flurry's Gem with Jajastio kicking back on the inside, clear from Grenaya, Marouche, and now Ruby Core starting a run as they corner. Flurry's Gem first round the turn, Grenaya out the challenge, and then came Jajastio and Ruby Core. Flurry's Gem in front of Grenaya with 100 metres to go. Ruby Core running on. Flurry's Gem in front. Grenaya's driving late. Flurry's Gem, Grenaya. Flurry's Gem, a half-head Grenaya. Ruby Core 3rd, and then Larrieur's, followed by Marouche, Jajastio and Canchita last in.
Popular Quinella, wasn't it? $3.50 for Flurry's Gem, which firmed right up in betting. $1.80 Grenaya. Ruby Core no 3rd. Winning rider Craig Newitt. And for Danny O'Brien, that's the Widden Stud Syndicate colours there, the orange with the purple cap. A nice style of a Perugino mare, and showing a ton of tenacity in the run to the line. And the Perugino mare just holds on, with Grenaya lunging but missing. 1-2-7. First 4 race it is New South Wales. We'll pass along 4th placing as soon as it is available. Trifecta New South Wales, $74.80. New Zealand, we're not far off action. The rain is tumbling down in Brisbane. Just show you these pictures coming through. These are live from Brisbane. The rain teeming down. They've had 17 mils of rain already this morning. We'll keep you updated with Larry Olsen throughout the afternoon. And no 4th yet confirmed at Moonee Valley. New Zealand's not far off. Ratings 4 and 7 equal, ahead of 9 and 15. So 1:11.30 is the winning time. There's Quinella's Exactas and Trifectas. Looking ahead to Randwick before we take your trackside to New Zealand. 3-year-old fillies go around. Private Steere resumes, this very, very smart filly. Equal top rates with Southern Rose. From there we go back to Viator and Destina. 1 and 4 ahead of 6 and 8. Destina, sorry. Market figures, well, Private Steer's all of the rage in the red, New South Wales, and the black elsewhere. Southern Rose is right in commission. Fine Society has been a firmer, and that is the market. A field of 8. Ian Craig went 1, 4, 8 and 6, and the ratings 1 and 4 equal ahead of 6 and 8. Now, first 4 details.
Just saying to our Sky Channel audience, a lovely day out here, 26 degrees and a good track rail out half a metre. Private Steer, short, $1.70 and $1.10. A little better in on-track operations. They did bet black, but just into the red now. And the only horse that's met with any sort of support on course to beat her has been number 7, Fine Society, who is a stablemate of Southern Rose. And Fine Society has just edged out Southern Rose for second pick on track. So Fine Society hasn't sported silk since the 10th of Feb in a Blue Diamond Prelude at Caulfield behind Brief Embrace. And there is some support to say the Masqué filly can stretch Private Steer's neck. And of course Southern Rose looking for the hat-trick. So over here at the 1200, they're moving in well. Now 3 are in and about 5 to load. Only about 4 out of line now. Fine Society coming forward as our radio audience links in, just repeating a little late support for Fine Society. But the hot pot is Private Steer. Mr. Choi, owner of Fine Society. He races in the You Had Your Warning colours and the Sequi colours. He's having a good trot, Mr. Choi, as an owner. Delolles struggling to find form these days after winning the Jim Crack Stakes at Warwick Farm back on the 22nd of September last year. Now they're all in, set to go. First of the day. Private Steer, all the rage, racing this time. She jumped pretty well from the inside, Private Steer. Actually, eminently leads narrowly. Viator is going to take her on and nose her. Dancing Hill wider out third. Private Steer with a nice posse fourth, followed closely by Southern Rose Desina. Second last is Fine Society and Delolly's last. Dancing Hill for Brent Albuino to the lead. Near the 800 opens up 2 lengths Viator. Private Steer, 1 off the fence is third and eminently 3 deep now fourth. A couple of lengths to Southern Rose parked inside of Desina. Second last Fine Society and Delolly's keeping her company on the outside. 500 metres to run here in the first at Randwick and Dancing Hill from Viator. Private Steer in third position, followed by Southern Rose waiting for the out. Then eminently further away Desina, Delolly's and Fine Society straightening up. And at the 350 and Dancing Hill about 2 lengths now, and Private Steer called upon by Grant Buckley and is picking up this leader very swiftly. 2 lengths to eminently, followed then by Desina, but Private Steer quickly shook off Dancing Hill. And 100 to go. It's Private Steer in full flight. She's a good filly. Going into second, Posse Desina, but Private Steer bolts it in from Desina and Fine Society. And then eminently Dancing Hill walked home from Delolly, Southern Rose and Viator tailed off. She's pretty good. Numbers 1, 8 and 7 they should read after the first here at Royal Randwick. Private Steer at the 180-110 by Danehill Dancer from Lee Owen. Good mare. She's a semi-Palatinsk mare. And Private Steer first up since running third during the Spring Carnival and the Flight Stakes behind Royal Perla. Lee Curtis put her away, little freshen up and back today. Bigger things in mind for her. And Private Steer has trotted it in, just doing as much as Grant Buckley wanted her to do. And of course a little bit of a change of luck, isn't it, in the last week for Lee Curtis with the bad luck with Mystique in Hong Kong in the sprint last Saturday. Mystique failing and accordingly bleeding. Here are numbers. 1873. Number 1, Private Steer, G. Buckley first. Number 8 is second, Desina. She was backed, you might remember, at her debut, landed a big plonk out here on the Kenzo grass on the 27th of November. And she's a nice filly by Desert King from Priscina, Gary Fraser, Huey Bowman and Fine Society. A bay filly 3 by Masqué from Early Song, John Hawkes, Corey Brown. Number 3 ran fourth, and that was eminently, and here are the totes. Number 1, $1.80 and $1.10. Number 8, $3.30. and number 7 paid $2 exactly. The Quinella 12.10, Exacta 15.20, the Trifecta 86.20, and the first four 1873, $660.30. Margins a comfortable 3.5 lengths, a short neck second and third, 110.63 and 35.30. The sectional time, the record for your edification, 109.42, held by a pretty good horse, Spinning Hill. 110.63. She's won it on her ear. Private Steere in the first at Randwick.
And there's Lee Curtis bouncing back after last week's disappointments up in Hong Kong. The owners look pretty happy, don't they? And no doubt they would be. With the lightning bolt colours of Private Steere, this very classy daughter of Danehill Dancer returning for a comfortable win. So 1873, first for New South Wales, $660.30. Now, Victoria Park, runners are in the mounting yard, jockeys have been legged on board. Now, let's look ahead to New Zealand before we take you to Moonee Valley. Correct weight has just gone through at Victoria Park on 3, 4, 2 and 10, which is great news if you've had some success there. There's the New Zealand details. Plenty of interest in this 2-year-old fillies race as we return to the Valley.
Starter about to call them in here for the second on the card. First race it was 1, 2 and 7. Flurry's Gem getting home for Craig Newitt. Craig on Chicks in Charge, who's got an awkward barrier draw here. The inside at the 1,000 is often a very difficult place to win races from. And she comes in now, Chicks in Charge, drawn gate number 1. Lady Diva's the favourite on track, as she is on the tote. Been quite well supported. Second favourite is also a first starter, Sister Catherine, number 8. Still showing fairly good odds on the tote by comparison. And the shortest of those that have raced is 3 Rosarino, ahead of 1 Chicks in Charge and 4 General Resolve. Tendencies in that mix as well, but has been a big drifter. 1,000 metres, very warm conditions here. Sister Catherine to come along out of Inchydoney, who's thrown 5 winners, including Snarbell and Daneski, nearly a Dane. Little Darling out behind the line. Very pretty filly. This is Lady Diva coming along now, Damien Oliver. By Polish Navy, the Danzig stallion, who has thrown a Kentucky Derby winner in Sea Hero. This is a half-sister to Blue Pharaoh. Lady Jackie-O, the dam. There's Princess Crow going in. Divine Secret to move up. This is Sister Catherine about to move along now. And the red cap on Little Darling. Flaxen mane, a pretty little filly. In she goes. Sister Catherine comes up now. So Divine Secret will be the last to move up into the stalls. Noel Callow on board, the Robbie Lang trained galloper. She ran second to Chicks in Charge, coming from a fairway back race, pretty greenly. Still learning about the caper. Just wandered a fair bit down the track, an attendant coming over to bring her in now. So Lady Diva, Damien Oliver, drawn 2 from the outside in green colours as a favourite. Interestingly, 2 is the shortest in the running double, so the stable's taken some doubles into her as well, one would assume. All in now. Light flashes. Racing now. Oh, Lady Diva didn't jump all that well. Tendency away fast with Sister Catherine, and showing speed also General Resolve and Rosarino. And also now, as they settle down, Lady Diva gets up to about 6th. Settling fully now. Tendency from Sister Catherine, General Resolve and Rosarino well placed. A length further back, Lady Diva, who's caught 3 wide there, and they're followed then by Tycoon Diva, Chicks in Charge, the rail. 2 Divine Secret, Princess Crow and Little Darling last through the gap at the 550. Tendency the inside, leading narrowly to Sister Catherine, Rosarino. General Resolve on the inside, 4th, and then Lady Diva. Oliver at work on this filly now. Chicks in Charge comes off the rail, followed by Tycoon Diva and then Divine Secret, Princess Crow, Little Darling. Tendency from Sister Catherine, Rosarino running on 3 wide, and back behind them then is Lady Diva, who's under pressure, and Divine Secret hooks to the outside. Rosarino hit the lead. Here's Divine Secret starting to come, and Lady Diva between them. Rosarino grabbed by Divine Secret. Divine Secret a long head to Rosarino. Lady Diva between them, third's been a good run. Princess Crow about 4 lengths away, 4th from Sister Catherine, Chicks in Charge, and then came Little Darling. Well back as General Resolve in company with Tendency, and Tycoon Diva, one of the last over the line.
Speedy little Thunder Gulch filly getting the cash in the 2-year-olds race. 2, 3, 6 across the line. Yes, from all of the team here at Sky, based in our Sky studios in Melbourne, Sydney and right around the country, we wish you and yours the very best for this festive season, and I trust it's an enjoyable one and a special one with your family and friends. Bennett's Green continues to firm in. There's been very good trying at Randwick on the tote. It's into $8.20. This is the Chavog youngster out of Zaglo as a Beal mare. And this one goes around on a 4-length Gosford trial win in a handy gallop in 48.5. Doomben correct weight, first 4, 8, 1, 10 and 6. Emerald Dane in fourth, $1,999 the first 4. 120.36 was the winning time note, 120.36. Well, the countdown towards the first of our big 2-year-old races. We've got the Magic Millions after Christmas, the English Classic. There's so much interest in these 2-year-olds. Aracena, all of the interest as we return to Randwick.
Yes, went round to the barrier with one of the clerks of the course again. It'll be interesting to see how he moves into the barrier stalls this afternoon. You might remember at his debut he was a little reluctant to behave at the barrier stalls, but he raced very, very well. He's a nice sort by Chavog, who's also represented by an interesting newcomer here, the colt trained by Albert Stapleford at Gosford, Bennett's Green. But very popular Aracena as far as tote punters in New South Wales are concerned. $1.50 and $1. Gradually tightening up in the ring now. Has always been in the red by the same token there from the time betting opened. The second pick on course is number 5 Bennett's Green, as it is on the tote in New South Wales at $8.230. So Aracena certainly stifling the betting on this, the second of the day, and they're starting to come up to the line. This is 1,000 metres. Hipple, raced by Mr. Ross Cribb, bred by Ross, by Armadale. He's getting a few that can gallop. Armadale, he was a useful sprinter himself. Stable Talk, the rank outsider. Antienne still away, so too is In Top Swing, who produced a very quick finish at Rose Hill recently behind Imperialism, probably Imperialism stopping, that made In Top Swing's finishing effort look a little better than it was, but he looks a nice horse. Raced by Mr. and Mrs. Bill Fisher, who had many horses a few years ago, and then they eased off a little, but now have come back into racing on a pretty big note. A lot of horses in work. They had some very nice horses of yesteryear, and Mr. Sound was one of them, and also Grey Owl. Little Owl was one of theirs. In fact, I remember Little Owl, it started favourite in a division of the Breeders' Plate, which was won by Luskin Star by a huge margin. Anyway, we've got Bennett's Green and Aracena to come forward. He's again a little bit on the toey side, Aracena. All being well after today, up to the Gold Coast for the Magic Millions. My word, how time does go so quickly. Here we are talking about the Magic Millions just around the corner. Where has 2002 gone to? I don't know. Well, Chris Muntz has dismounted now from Aracena. Now let's see what this youngster is going to do behind the barrier stalls. Well, at the moment all he wants to do is pull back and rear. Hipple standing well. So too is Look at Mars, a stablemate of the favourite. Bennett's Green and the pale blue with the dark blue and white hoop sleeves parading around behind the barrier. It's a worry for Gay that this horse, he's got a lot of ability, but by golly, I tell you what, I hope he doesn't ruin himself by his antics before the barrier, and he's doing again the same today as he did here 2 weeks ago. But he raced very well, but one day he'll run his race before they jump away. Now one of the gatemen has him by the left ear, which is a steadying tactic utilised by gatemen. He's not all that happy with that. I suppose you can't blame him. He wrenched his head out away from the gateman, again upping on the back legs, and boy, oh boy, come on, Aracena. And Bennett's Green being led around, waiting for Aracena to go forward. $1.50 and money back, Aracena in New South Wales. One of the gatemen has the long whip, and he's about to let Aracena have a little feel of same around the hind heels. No, well, they're going to put this newcomer Bennett's Green in before Aracena. Now, what's going to happen here with Aracena? I think he's, yeah, he might be right this time. Yes, he's there. Yep, they're all set, ready to run. How will he jump? Oh, he's restless. A chance, they're off. Oh, he half prop when the gates opened. He's back second last, Aracena. Bennett's Green flew out and with tremendous speed leads a couple of lengths now at Anti-N Hipbull, followed by In Top Swing Regatta. Look at Mars, Aracena followed by Fortified and Stable Talk, a conspicuous last of the 600. Bennett's Green is simply flying along. He's a length and a half, Hipbull 2.5 Regatta. Anti-N In Top Swing, Look at Mars. Munce riding overtime on Aracena at about 4 lengths to Stable Talk and Fortified. Around the corner they travel. Aracena's the widest. Oh, he had a bumping Jill with In Top Swing, and Look at Mars. Aracena's stablemate cop the worst of it. He's about 5 off Bennett's Green, Aracena. Hipbull's run to second. In Top Swing third, and then Aracena. At the distance, 200 to go. Bennett's Green in front, but In Top Swing. Craig Carmody looking confident, and In Top Swing's home and hosed. Hipbull second, Bennett's Green walking, then Aracena. Fortified late will get in for a placing, but In Top Swing wins it well. In Top Swing has beaten Hipwell and Fortified, followed home by Anti-N and Company with Aracena. Always a problem, Aracena. Then Bennett's Green, Look at Mars Regatta and Stable Talk.
In Top Swing, $12.90. It'd be interesting to watch this galloping action of In Top Swing as it canters to the line. A beautiful crowned youngster, which only has raced once before today, back at Rose Hill when placing behind Imperialism. Noel Mayfield-Smith, the trainer, and there it is. Racing to the line. He is pricked at some stages there, this youngster. $12.90, $2.40, $2.20 Hipwell, Fortified $8.80. And how about the run of Aracena after giving those attendants all sorts of headaches and jumping so tardily? Now, the full details are starting to come through. First four with the top weight in fourth position, Aracena, $12,586.80. So 3, 7, 6 and 1. Now there's all the details for you on screen. Now Super Tab details starting to come through. Quinella, New South Wales, $47.60. Exacta, $127.30. Trifecta, $1,867 on Unitab. It's $42.30. The Quinella. Trifecta, $14.94. Super Tab will come back for very, very soon. At Victoria Park.